Yeah, Black Kings record. Ever since it's a COVID-19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. Warm to the vaccine when the pot clean. Operation need vaccine. Me say vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Warm to the vaccine for the crack fiend. Warm to the vaccine for the vaccine. We afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fall up like napkin. We need a vaccine at the ghetto car. Our struggles are not similes and no metaphor. If you get a youth dream, if you get a car, buy a house, try make it out, no get so far. No live so long, we get vaccine. Get up people no want to no vaccine. If it's not a vaccine, we stop cream and can live a better life and stop dream. For the youth them way in a jail house, we still no get charged, can't get no bail out. Me say vaccine, we fi make no see road quarantine. We want to know vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. One to the vaccine for the crack fiend. One to the vaccine for the vaccine. We afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fall up like napkin. We need a vaccine for real, cause some evil people them be will lead us. Foot power next time for you no ease off. Me no trust Babylon, we need a vaccine. For them stop, deceive the poor and every workplace start. Give people more vaccine, me nah lie, we need the cure. People police stop, kick in with door. We need a vaccine for bust the aisle mill. Fi cut the piping, look how long I'll price drop, but JPS I give we some fuck we like Billy Ola who no fake. Yeah, UPK got the vaccine. Mr. General Yan have the vaccine. General Myman have the vaccine. Big Captain Mashak got the vaccine. Hey, Nayatap got the vaccine. Hey, Abadawan got the vaccine. Hey, Akaya got the vaccine. Bakawar got the vaccine. Hey. Ever since it's a COVID-19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. One to the vaccine when the pot clean. Operation need vaccine. Me say vaccine. Vaccine. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me take this off the screen. Here we go. Take this off the screen real quick. All right, y'all can hear me? All right, no sweat. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the room right now. Big shouts out to everybody who took the time to dedicate some time to the Lord, man. You know, we call on the Lord when somebody got a gun to your head. We call on the Lord when they give you 2 years in prison. We call on the Lord, when you need, some money. We call on the Lord when you're trying to get the numbers to win the lottery. All of those different things come into play. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we dedicate some time to the Lord, make sure that we get in here, we stay in here, and then, and we're going to do it like that, right? I mean, it's only a short time out today. We're going to go ahead, bust these scriptures down, and then we're going to be right back. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and play this quick intro. You already know what it is. Get your libations together, get your precept books, and we're going to be right back, man. Make sure if y'all in the Smyrna, Delaware area or any of the surrounding cities down southern Delaware, make sure you get in there with Thashiyam and Officer Matazi Allah. You know what I'm saying? They in there every Monday and Wednesday, all right? Every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m., all right? So we're going to go ahead, get in there. So go ahead, get in there, and we're going to get the class started right after this intro.
do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took an oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, sold your seat for some bloody bees. True nation, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you gone, it's your destiny.
All right, we back. Boom. Big up yourself. Ain't that what they say? Big up yourself. All right, so we here, man. I want to thank everybody who's in the room right now. 21 people, man. That's what's up. Let's go to the comments, give a shouts out before we start, right? So hopefully these names don't ever change. Yaquatazar 1 West 125th. You know what I'm saying? Maria Stevenson, shout out to you, checking in from KC. All right, KC, that's right. It's what? 6 o'clock over there? Yaquar, you know what I'm saying? Shalom. Yahweh Shemal Thumba Shem Yahweh Shah to you, sis. Officer of Wawam. All right, let's get it. Dwayne Davis. All right, Trooper. Yeah, that's right. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Tamira Hunter. That's right. Checking in from Dallas. Well, it's like got to be what? 5 o'clock over there in Dallas? That's right. Right after work. Just starting paint. What's going down? Shalom to you, sis. Amawana. All right. Checking in from Shreveport, Louisiana, man. What's going on with Hurricane Chris? Barn Dog. What's going on, Barn Dog? I remember him from the podcast. How to Rob, what's going on to you? Checking in from Dayton, Ohio, man. Everybody checking in a little early. Cause it's like 7 o'clock, a little past 7 over here on the East Coast. The Con Operarium, that's right. No Cowards, New Jersey. All right, that's right. Get in there. Keep up the good work. You know what I'm saying? Officer of 50. All right, let's get it. And Big Main in here. What's going on? Shalom to you. Pittsburgh in the building. We got Houston in the building. All right. Marie. All right. Jamaria. I think that is. Yeah, Jamaria Powell. All right. Checking in from Houston. All right. Let's get it. All right. So appreciate all of y'all checking in. Make sure y'all stay the whole class. I mean, you know, that's what it's here for. You know what I'm saying? We got brothers in the class. We got sisters in the class. So we getting it on today. The first thing I want to do before we get started is I want to open up the class, open up the floor to anybody who might have a question. All right? So the floor is yours.
Sir, you have a question in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yaquatazar 1 West 125th Street. Salakia, sir, can I get a breakdown on 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34, Baba Kasha?
14 and 34. 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Let me get there with you. It sound familiar the way you just said it. What you just said. 1 Corinthians.
Sound like a new confusion.
14 and 34. This is. Oh man, it had to go something like this. Here we go. All right, let's get it.
Come. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
That's right. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. All right, that's what the brother really wanted me to say. All right. Go ahead.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Right. This is not like talking about like a woman can't ask a question. You know what I mean? I mean, it's plenty of women who sit in the class with General Mahaiman, and if you ever want to know if anything's lawful, just watch what the men above you do. You know what I'm saying? If right. General Mahaiman is in class and there's women in class asking questions, then it's lawful for women to say things in class.
Damn right.
Now, this more specifically is talking about women who think they know something, right? Who come and try to usurp authority over the men. Right. So this is talking about like a woman being in subjection. You know what I mean? A woman being in subjection while she's in the church. You know what I'm saying? You keep quiet. You hold your peace. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we've seen where women get bounced up out of the class because unlike, you know, anything else they ever do in their life, they don't go to college and try to teach the professor when he's lecturing the class. But when they do come in here, they might want to come in and try to lecture everybody and tell them about what their pastor told them. right? But this is what they want to do. But I'm gonna pull the scripture as we go further to show you. All right, go ahead.
Come on. But they are commanded to be under obedience.
Right. Right. There you go. Right. Obedience. Like, you want to be in subjection when you come into you go around the church, amongst the people, the woman is supposed to be, in obedience, like not be so quick to talk. It's the same thing for brothers. I could pull scriptures. We were just pulling them last night about how when you in the presence of men, great men, you hold your tongue. You don't talk so damn much. You know what I mean? And this is what it's talking on the other side, but for the sisters. All right. Go ahead.
As also saith the law.
All right, so also said the law. So let me get Ezekiel 34 and let me see. Let me get Genesis 3:16. I'm gonna go there. And let me check this one right here. The Ezekiel 34 and 31. Let me check that real quick. Ezekiel 34, 31. Just bear with me 1 second. Ezekiel 34. What is that? Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me get there with you real quick. Hold on 1 second. I got you. I just want to look at something real quick. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead and get me that the Genesis 3:16. But what was your question?
Salakia. The First Corinthians 14 and 34.
Mm-hmm.
I have also used that to show that when it comes to like women trying to be pastors and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
That's the spirit behind it.
Okay.
It's not that a woman, right? It's not that a woman can't say anything.
Right.
We're in class right now. Women are being taught, right? But it's a spirit that the woman has to be in while she's in the church. You get my point? It's not about like a woman got to stay in here and not say a damn thing. That's not the spirit behind it. What he's trying to say here. All right. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16.
I think that's the one I want. Genesis 3. And let me look at that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16.
This is what Paul is talking about when he's quoting, like, in the law. All right? Go ahead.
Sir. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Mm-hmm.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
So what?
Shall be to thy husband.
Right. So, and keep going.
And he shall rule over thee.
Right. So this is the spirit that, that women, okay. We know why the desire has to, that the Lord made the desire to be towards the one for the woman to be towards her husband is because before when she was allowed to just do whatever she wanted to do, we see what happened. Right. And so now this is basically like a scripture to where like a woman is supposed to be in subjection to her husband, of course. And what Paul is basically talking about is when a woman is in the in the church, that she's commanded to be in silence, because not like she can't say anything, but like your spirit that you're going to be in while you're there. So your desire is to be to your husband. So you don't come in here like trying to teach me. You get my point? You don't come in here trying to teach me. Your desire, if you want to know something, you go to your husband. Of course, you can ask me a question. But if you're trying to teach something, or you trying to, ask me a question or something like that, and you trying to be combative and not in the right spirit, then you got your husband for that.
Sir.
Right. Go ahead.
I was going to say that verse 35 goes in 1 Corinthians 14 and 35 goes right into what you're explaining right there.
Okay, no sweat. So we can go down. So, and it says Let me see. Let me go back. And you know, okay. So with the reason, and the reason that it has to be like that is because, okay, when Eve went out, she went out and she learned from the other nations. She learned the philosophies of the other nations. You could actually look in. It doesn't really say what she learned or whatever, but like you can go in the Wisdom of Solomon. It'll say like I think it was like spiritual fornication. It was like the worshiping of idols was like the thing. So whatever it was, you know, she brought back and she tried to teach it to Adam, right? Because she went off on her own. Now the Lord said, your desire is going to be to your husband. Now you're going to listen to your husband. Now it's Adam is going to be her head now. Adam is going to teach her what she needs to know. You know what I mean? You know why so many men are Jehovah's Witnesses? So many men are Jehovah's Witnesses because their women answer the door while they're at work. And then they come home and they let the Jehovah's Witnesses in the house and they taught your wife everything about how great Charles Russell in the temple is, in the temple hall. And now, you know, the wife got them all jammed up. It's a lot of women that are out there in the world that have their husband jammed up but if their desire was to be to their husband, you know what I mean, then most brothers would have their wife not doing things like that, right? And then in the truth, we learn that. You want to say something?
Nah,
all right, no sweat. Okay. And so that's the spirit of what Paul is in right here. If you go down to, go ahead, verse 35.
Just the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 35. And it says, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
Right. So you go to your husband, man. You learn from your husband. It does not mean that you can't come to class. All right. If sisters are trying to use this as a way to get out, no. You can come to class. It's perfectly fine. You can come to class. You can ask questions in class. You can do all of those things that you want in class. But you can't come to class trying to teach the brothers, trying to usurp authority over the teacher. There's plenty of videos out there that show women that tried to come to class and tried to tell you what their pastor told them. And this is what he's talking about right here. You're supposed to be in silence. You know what I mean? You learn, you be in subjection. That's subjection means to submit yourself. The same way we submit ourselves. When we come into class, we're submitting ourselves. The brothers don't get in here trying to tell me what they saw on a YouTube video. It's the same for you too, right? The spirit you want to be in is the spirit of subjection, right? If you want to argue, then go home and argue with your husband and he'll argue it out with you, right? Don't argue it out with me, all right? Go home, argue it out with your husband, and then you come back after he got you right, and then you come in and you keep continuing to learn. But when it comes to you coming in here trying to be in a spirit that's unbecoming of a sister that's in the truth, then you're wrong for that. All right. Let me see. I just want to see this one real quick.
Yep. That's definitely the door.
Ezekiel 34, I think. Oh man, it's locked here. Yeah, that is the door. All right. I was just looking at something real quick, y'all. It's locked here. Brother, can you read 32? Yes. Verse 32? No, 1 Corinthians 14 and 32.
Yes. The spirits, this NIV version don't say.
Oh, you got the NIV? Yeah. Oh no! Let's get this brother. Hey, somebody get that NIV and throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash. Somebody get this brother a Bible, man. Somebody get this brother a Bible. This brother got an NIV, Salakia.
No, this is.
Yeah, you can get rid of that.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's
I'll grab you one. I'll grab you one myself.
I gave him one.
Okay.
I gave him one to keep.
No sweat, no sweat. All right, so but you if you could read it, Mataziala. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. 1 Corinthians 14 and 32.
Okay.
We're going to come down a little bit, all right? 14 and 32. What's going on, Parba? Chubawayu Klum checking in from Camden. All right. All right, Parakia. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemala Thamba Shemi Awashai. To you, I'm just going to finish off the brother's question right here, and then we're just going to move on, all right?
Sir. Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Right, meaning that, you know, the spirits that the brothers that are teaching now or the brothers that have always taught, right? The spirit of the prophets is unto the prophets. Because if you are a brother that is teaching now, then you was a brother that was always teaching, right? Now, if you was a sister that looked out for the brothers and a sister that, you know, gave her arms to the brothers and kept up with the brothers, then you was a sister that was always doing those things, right? If you was a brother who raised up schools, then you was a brother that was always raising up schools. But in this particular thing, it's about the rendered unto the prophets, right? So the spirit of the prophet. So if you got that spirit of a brother that's, you know, that's a prophet, right? Then you've always had that spirit, right? That spirit is subject unto you, right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 33, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
Right, that's what the Lord wants. The Lord wants peace. When we come in here, you know, we here to learn, we here to shed ourselves of the world, right? So when a sister comes in here, she's in here to do the same damn thing. She's not in here to, of course, we can battle you. Right, we can do that. You know, if we can engage in that. But when a sister comes into the understanding of that she's not supposed to be doing those things, we're going to read into then she's supposed to change. But we're going to read a little bit more on it. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak. But they are commanded to be under obedience.
Right, because remember we read in Genesis 3:16 when it said that the woman, her desire shall be to her husband, right? She's supposed to be in obedience, right? So if your rib is in here, you know, going crazy in class, then, you know, she's not being obedient to her husband, right? She's not being obedient to him, right? Keep going.
Come. As also saith the law. Verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
Right. So, like, you know, if you got an issue with something, you know, don't take it out on me. Go home to your husband. But if you don't have a husband, then, you know, of course, the school, you go to the school. You know what I mean? But if you got a husband at home and say he's officer so-and-so or, you know, captain so-and-so, then I'm not going to be arguing with you here in class.
Right.
You keep silence. You know what I mean? You keep silence. If you got an issue with something, you know, you ask it in a proper manner, you know, becoming of a sister that's, you know, that's under obedience, right? But if you got an issue or something like that, then you take it home and you learn it from your husband. All right. All right. There we go. I think that pretty much kind of got it. All right. Wait, we got a brother from Newcastle. Oh, that's Aitzerah. I thought we had somebody new in the building. All right. Young man Meese, what's going on? Aitzerah, Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Thamba Shemel, shout out to you. Des Moines, Iowa, yeah. Jericho. I used to live in Clarinda, Iowa. Yeah, Clarinda, Iowa. That's when I was a bad kid. I went to a YSI program in Clarinda, Iowa. So I know about Des Moines, I know about Waterloo. All of those different places up there. They get it shaken in Iowa too. Don't get it twisted. You think it's a joke. You know what? In Iowa, they got vice lords and gangster disciples. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. It ain't about the Crips, you know, the Crips and Bloods, that's a commercial. But you know, don't forget about the vice lords. All right. Yeah, the GDs and vice lords, they get it on in Iowa. All right, so no sweat. So we're gonna get into you had any questions or anything like that? All right. No sweat. So all right, let's get it. All right. Let's go to the 1 Timothy 5 and 9. What does it sound like when it says? All right, we'll read it real quick. Salakia. All right, no sweat. You got it? Okay, no sweat. Let's get it.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 9.
Nah, man, don't give me that, man. Read it like you read it at camp, like that video that I posted up. That video I posted up last night.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, having been the wife of one man.
What does that sound like to you, Kwaya Swan?
I'm not sure what 60 is, but is it talking about her age? Like at a certain age, you can't marry, you can't have like relation with a woman.
So old women can't get old women can't get no man.
Not old women, but like young. I think it's young. So I'm not sure what 60 is. But.
Yeah. Go here. You had your hand up. I'm gonna come to you too.
Salakia, the 60, that would be 30.
Not quite, but go ahead.
But it does kind of sound like they saying that a woman of middle age shouldn't be remarried or married again.
Right, and this is why we going over the class tonight. This is why, you know what I mean? Like, you know, people ask me these questions and it's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and go into it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. A score is 20 years, so 3 scores 60 years. Correct?
Right, exactly. So we're gonna break it down. All right. So it says, let not a woman be taken unto the number under 60 years old, right? Having been the wife of one man. Right. So she's the wife of, she's, you know, it's breaking down the criteria. All right. So let me go to 1 Timothy. Let me see where I want to go. You see, Slovakia. Okay. All right, so I'll give you a little backdrop. All right, so you know who Timothy is? All right, I'll say it. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I was going to answer the question.
Yeah, you can.
Paul's young boy.
Yeah, there you go. I'll just say it however you say it. You from Philly, so his young bull, Paul's young bull. You know what I mean? His young bull. You know what I mean? His young bull that he was rolling with. Remember, Paul didn't have no kids, but that was, you know, he was his young bull. You know what I'm saying? And he took him under his wing. Right. You know what I mean? And he taught Timothy how to set up a school. So when you read the book of Timothy, you're reading how to. When you read Timothy, it's telling him and giving him the instructions on how to set up a school and how to run the school successfully. All right. So, and then he goes into talk about, you know, like how if you want to be a bishop, you know, you can't be, you know, a drunkard. You can't be going to the club and fighting. Right. You got to watch out for the men. You have to be keeping your head on a swivel. You got to be able to read the situation. You got to be able to be a brother who can make good decisions. You got to be a brother that can handle the pressure. Right. And you gotta, and it's really a important thing, because when you're in charge, you have the men's lives in your hand. You have the sisters' lives in your hand. And if you make a bad decision, then it possibly something bad could happen to a brother, or something bad could happen to a sister. So to be in charge, just going into the class that we had last night, it's a good thing to desire, right? You can covet that as much as you want, right? You can be in leadership, wherever you want. If you're a trooper and you want to be an officer of 50, then that's totally fine. You get anything that you want, right? If you put the things in place to work for it, right? But also remember this, when you do go to that next level, remember all the men that are under you, and you're going to have to be in a position that's going to have to lead those brothers, right? If you're officer of 50, you lead 50 families, right? And all that means is just your level of responsibility, right? You are officer of 1,000, officer of 5,000, on up. You have different levels of responsibility, and you can get into those positions if you so choose. But remember that the reason that you're in those positions is because the Lord wanted you to be in those positions, right? Nobody is in those positions just on your own. I'm going to pull the scripture real quick, and then I'm going to get right back to what we're talking about, the widow. But just to prove my point, let me get Psalms 75 and 6 real quick. 75 and 6, and we right back. We got Melanie Teller checking in from Pittsburgh. Yaquadazar 125th. So he's trying to get Proverbs 31 and 10. Damn. All right, I see what you want, Yaquadazar. All right, his rib is probably watching. Let me get that Proverbs 75. No, I'm just playing. I'm not saying your rib is watching. 75 and 6.
Psalms chapter 75 and verse 6.
For
promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He put down one and set up another.
You see that? Promotion don't come from the east or the west. It don't come from me. It don't come from over there. It don't come from nowhere. It comes from the Lord. You're a trooper because the Lord wanted you to be a trooper. Right? You're a young man because the Lord wanted you to be a young man, right? As long as you can understand that, you in the right headspace, right? You're here not because you chose to be here. Get it out your mind, right? You didn't choose this. The Lord chose you. And then if you leave it, then you're choosing to leave, right? Because the Lord, like the scriptures say, man's goings are of the Lord, right? You're here because the Lord wanted you to find the truth. He wanted you to find the school, wanted you to find a brother, or if you a sister, or you may be a brother, you might have found a sister that was in the school and she told you to come down to class. But whatever it is, your goings is of the Lord, right? And the promotion that you get is because of the Lord, right? So we're talking about Timothy right now, and the reason Timothy is in this position is because the Lord wanted Timothy to be in this position, all right? Paul is in his position because the Lord wanted Paul to be in his position, right? So let's get 1 Timothy, let me see, 4 and 11.
First Timothy chapter 4 and verse 11.
Hold on, let me see. No, read 4. No, I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. Let me get 5. 1 Timothy 5 and 9 again.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 9. Let not a woman be taken into the number under 80 years old. Verse 9. Let not a woman be taken. Let not a widow be taken. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man.
Right. So let's go to where that was said. Anybody know where that was said? All right. No, you know. he went right to the phone and just whipped it out. But I'll show y'all where it's at. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. Y'all got the Zondervan back there? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got one. Okay. That's the Zondervan? Yeah, this is it. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking something out real quick. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, go ahead. Let me get Acts 6:1. And then I'll have you read this.
Acts chapter 6 and verse 1. And in those days, when the number of disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians.
Okay, so this is okay. If you, I'm gonna just tell y'all, man, when you read Acts, I had to read Acts so many times. Like, it's just one of those books. Like, I was like, I just can't get it. You know what I mean? Then I would read it again, and then I read the whole thing again, then read the whole thing again. I read Acts probably maybe about 7-8 times until I, kind of got it. Like, okay, he's on the road, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's getting it. You know what I mean? But more so in specific, just to really understand it. You can read any book you want in the Bible. You read Romans, but can you really understand it enough to really break it down and really understand the concepts that Paul is saying? And that really takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of scripture breakdown and things like that to help you get right. And even when you get all of that, you're still going to have to keep, practicing every single day. It's not easy, of course. But you gotta apply yourself and you'll be good to go. All right. So 6. All right, read it one more time from the top, please.
Acts chapter 6 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And in those days when the number of disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews.
All right. So in this time, remember, in the book of Acts, this is more so. This is when, the kingdom was split, right? The kingdom is split. You got Jews that are in, in other places they're really Jews, but they're following the philosophies of the Greeks, right? And then you have the Israelites who are born in Jerusalem, who understands that they're, Israelites, and they didn't deal with each other, right? Because it actually was unlawful for Jews, which were the Jews, where it says, like, when you ever read that in the Bible where it says like Jews in Israel, or it say, like, you know what I mean? It'll say Judah and Israel. That's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Right. But in this particular moment, but you can't say that all the northern kingdom was gone and it was only the southern kingdom, because you still had remnants of the northern kingdom that was still with the southern kingdom, like Anna, right? From the tribe of Asher, right? So in this particular thing, there was the Grecians, who were the Jews that were, and I'm gonna get it right here. You can read it right here, the first paragraph. This is the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Call out the page so they can see it real quick. All right.
So we in the Zondervan Pictorial Dictionary, page 324.
Mm-hmm.
Grecians. Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes.
The Hellenes. Right. Do you know who the Hellenes are? Those were Jews who made Greek their tongue. They started following after Greek philosophy, all those things. But it wasn't because they wanted to. Don't get it messed up. It wasn't because they just wanted to be Greeks. No, it was a Hellenizing period. Right, you had the Seleucid dynasty, the Seleucids. They wanted Hellenization hard to turn to. They like had us playing, like being in the gymnasium. Man, look, I think it's a game. Hold on. Which one I want? Might be one of these. Oh, here we go. right here. This is the life of Greece. Look, it got let me see. It got what's his name on it? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. See that? See this book right here. And let me see. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's called The Life of Greece. All right. We share books around here, all right? Because we want people to see it. All right. So in this book right here, let's read about it a little bit, right? Page 577. I mean, it's 579. Slovakia. 579. Okay, so this talks about, the history of Judea and the Hellenistic age. During Hellenistic age turns into two conflicts, and so basically this is going into the Hellenization period. But before I pull this, right, I just want to finish what I had right there with you so that we can read it, right, so we can get context on Acts the 6th chapter, right, when it says that the Grecians came against the Hebrews, right, to prove who these Grecians were in this scripture right here. But go ahead.
Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes.
The Hellenes. All right, go ahead.
Greeks and Grecia, however, are to be distinguished.
Mm-hmm.
Greeks are generally those of the Hellenic race.
Right, the Hellenic race. So the Greeks, when you read about Greeks, it's talking about Jews who made Greek their tongue, and they took on the philosophies of the actual Grecians or whatever. All right, but go ahead.
I guess this can be found in Acts 16, verse 1,
mm-hmm.
18, verse 4, and what's it? Provendic, what's that say?
Come on, man. Use your vowels, man. Use those vowels.
It's split up. I'm having trouble with it.
No sweat, but just keep going on. No, I'm just messing with you, man.
Probably?
See, you know what I mean? Look, when I was younger, man, we had to read in Rainbow, man. I'm just messing with it.
Oh, snap. I'm skipping ahead. I'm tripping.
Nah, you got it, man. You got it. Go ahead, take your time, man. It's all good.
Probably John 12 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
But the word may be used to indicate non-Jews, foreigners, and aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Romans verse 1. And the dispersion. I guess that says is, sir.
But get to it. Go ahead and finish it up.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
See that? Say it one more time.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
One more time.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
Right there. You see that? So a lot of times people will read that verse and they'll be like, well, it was white people coming at black people. But in this particular situation, it was the Grecians were Jews who said, read that line one more time.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
See that? Now you got to distinguish in what context you got, you know what I mean, to decide who is actually talking about. Right. But in this particular thing in Acts 6, it's talking about Greek-speaking Jews. Read it one more time. Slack it.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
And what page are you on in Zondervan?
Page 324.
Page 324. All right, no sweat. So we're gonna keep on going, right? Let's go back to Acts 6 and 1. But let me see. All right, let me read you something about Hellenism, right? This is in page 581 in The Life of Greece. It says Hellenism devoted to science and philosophy, art and literature, beauty and pleasure, song and dance, drinking and fat and feasting, athletics and courtesans and handsome boys. Damn. Along with gay sophistication that questioned all morals and urbane skepticism that undermined all supernatural belief. How could Jewish youth resist these invitations to delight? This easy liberation from 1,000 irksome restraints. They're talking about the commandments, right? And it says young rich among the Jews began to laugh at the priests as money grubbers, like we do now, right? And at their pious followers as fools who allowed old age to come upon them without having ever known the pleasures, luxuries, and subtleties of life. Ain't that what it is today? Don't the youth look at pastors like, y'all stupid. Right. And then the people that follow them, they like, y'all follow TD Jakes, y'all dumb. Why would y'all follow that when y'all could follow, man, we going to the club and we getting lit? We just might have sex with a tranny. Or we might do this or we might do that. And we indulging in our lust. We pop pills. We getting on the Molly. We getting on the fentanyl, right? And this is the same way the youth looked at the back then in the time of the Greeks. They're like, what are we sitting here following all these laws for when we can just go have fun and turn up with the Greeks, right? The same way it is today. Take your mind out of ancient and just think today.
Right.
All right. So it says, okay, substantive life. Rich Jews were also won over, for they could afford to yield to temptation. Ain't that like it is today? The niggas who got money can always afford to yield because they actually are benefiting off of the oppressor being in power.
Right.
So why would they want it to change? Go ahead.
If I may, sir, that's like damn near the whole of Hollywood and all your entertainers, all your sports figures, everybody that they put and promote, they ultimately have to succumb to these devils' evil schemes and desires.
That's
and
right.
All that other stuff that they have to do in order to be accepted and propel their career, as you would say.
That's right. He on it tonight. He was off for a week. He got all the fresh ideas. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what happens when you get some rest. It said, great point. It said, rich Jews were also won over, for they could afford to yield to temptation, right? This talking about the Hellenization period during the time of the Greeks, when we forsook the Most High and his laws, and we took on the laws of the Greeks, and we took on the custom of the Greeks. The same way we are here in America, we forsook the law of the Lord, and we took on the customs of America. Right. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, right? St. Patrick's Day, which is crazy to me. St. Patrick's Day, National Donut Day, National Grandparents Day, National Daughters Day, National Sons Day, National Wives Day, National Tea Day, National Coffee Day, right? National No Pants Day, which is crazy, right? But this is what we go ahead.
And new one as of June 12th, the gay girls got going on the National Ladies Stand Day.
Right, the National Ladies Stand Day, right? All of these things are going on because it's so much easier to get into, American culture and forsake the culture of Israelites, the culture of the Most High, because all those laws is irksome, right? It's irksome to you. You can't do it because, it's far easier to turn up. It's far easier to see those sparklers coming over to the section, right? You know what I'm talking about. See, that's why he's laughing. He probably had some sparklers come over there. But, to see the sparklers coming off the bottles, you know what I mean? The women walking over there and you on the couch, like, yeah, right, yeah, pour up, $300 for a bottle that's $50 down the street, right? But it's far better, even though the logic. The logic is, come on, $300 for a bottle of Patron that's I can get for $60 in the store down the street, but I'm gonna pay $300 in here because I just want to turn up. I want to have a good time. I want to be able to post to my social media. We lit out here. You get my point? Even though we know better, we don't do better because we just want to be a part of America. right? And that's the American way. It said rich Jews were also won over, for they could afford to yield to temptation. Jews who sought appointment from Greek officials felt it the part of policy to speak the Greek language, right? Ain't that what we do today? You go to work and you like, hello, Johnson and Bruckheimer, right? When you talking to them. When you speak to me, like, yo, man, they got me messed up, man. I'm out here on these streets, man. I'm trying to get it. As soon as that phone ring, you're like, yes, how may I help you, sir? This is Johnson and Bruckheimer. Yes, you're right, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Certain circumstances has conspired to alter my financial portfolio. Right? You start talking like that, well, you be like, yeah, they ain't got me messed up out here. Right? You see it best to speak, the way that they speak, right? Right? And to live in the Greek way, even to say a few kind words to the Greek gods. Like, you know what, man? St. Patrick can't be all that bad. And they say, you know what, you're right. Go ahead, brother, you got it.
That's why it's called acts, like kind of like how they say acting in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like how, like you would just not portraying, but just saying like how you gotta act a certain way or. Well,
okay, in this sense, the acts, like the things that the brothers did. You want to think that. You know what I mean? Acts is like the things the brothers did. These are the acts that Paul did, the acts that he did with, Barnabas, you know what I mean? And Simeon, and the acts that these brothers did and through, Phoenicia, give me some, the different countries where they were at. Cyrene, Philippi, Corinth, Ephesus, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you want to say, the acts that the brothers did. Go ahead.
So the Grecians and Acts were just Israelites that took on Greek culture.
Yes. All right, so let's get back. Let's rewind. Let's rewind, right? Let's get back to what the topic is, right? What's the topic? The topic is a widow shall not be taken into the number. All right? So you can't get no woman that's old. Is that what it is? You can't get a woman that's old? She got it. You can't get a woman, right? You can't get a woman that's old, right? All right, we're breaking it down. All right, no sweat. So let me close this up. Y'all can catch this book, man, right here. We got it right here, man. Y'all want to get y'all book game up? Y'all know where to come at, man. Look, let me show y'all something real quick. Look, get y'all book game up, man. Look, get y'all book game up, man. Y'all playing games with us, man. Look, y'all ain't lit, man. Yeah, y'all ain't lit. All right. So let me fix the camera now. All right. All right, we lit now. All right, get your game up. You know what I'm saying? Look, it ain't about new Jordans. Right. It ain't about all that. It's about books. That's right, books. Quite also don't give a damn about what I'm talking about. He's like, man, nigga, I'm about to go get these new Jordans. Nigga, I'm about to get these new Jordans. I don't know what you talking about. Yeah. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Throw something up. You know what I'm saying? I know you like you fresh with all that. I know you fresh. But you know what I mean? Just like, all right, look, I'm going to not, you know what I mean, be on this one release. And just throw a couple books in here, man. Let's. All right, no sweat. All right, so we got it, right? We here. All right, so let's read it. We're talking about widows. All right, real quick, I want to focus everybody back in. All right, so matter of fact, where was we at? Timothy, I'm gonna read it. Timothy 5 and 9. I'm going to read that to focus everybody back in. 1 Timothy 5 and 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man. All right. Now let's go back and let's find out what he was talking about. All right, let's get it.
Acts chapter 6 and verse 1. And in those days, when a number of disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews.
Right. So you know what a murmuring is?
And whispers. Or like talks, I guess, right?
Let's get it. Let's get it. Real quick. Let's get it. We want to make sure everybody leaves it understanding what's going on. Definition of murmuring.
Here's the definition of murmuring. A soft, low, or indistinct sound produced by a person or group of people speaking quietly or at a distance.
Right. And you see what happened. And when Moses was when they were in the wilderness, what they were doing, they were murmuring against Moses, right? Murmuring, but murmuring in a bad way, like, who you think he is having us coming out here? You know what I mean? It's murmuring, right? They were murmuring against the Hebrews, right? Go ahead.
Because their widows were neglected in daily ministration.
Right. Because they're widows. Because in this time, the northern kingdom, right? We'll say it in that sense. The northern kingdom, they were murmuring against the Jews, right? Because in this time, they got old women who are not being taken care of.
Right. So you weren't having sex.
No. When you get old today, what is it called? No, not senior citizen. What is it called when you get taken care of when you're old? No. Social Security. Right? Social Security. So so they're saying y'all are talking all this and that. Y'all ain't taking care of these old women that's over here. You know what I mean? These widows that's old and and they need money. Right. Y'all ain't taking care of them, right? So we're gonna read into to get you the understanding on what was going on here, right? And this is why he's saying, don't let a widow under 70 be taken into the number. All right. So let's go back to 1 Timothy 5 and 9. Y'all let me know, man, if you don't get it. Don't say you got it, and then we get in the class, the brother say we salute out, and then you like, I don't get it. Just let me know now. 1 Timothy 5 and 9. So now we know what's going on here. We went back to Acts 6 and 1, and it said that they were murmuring against the Hebrews because we wasn't taking care of their widows, right? And now we're gonna read 5 and 9 again, but we're gonna go down a little bit further. And you got it whenever you're ready.
1 Timothy chapter, you're going down to 9?
Start at 9, we're gonna go down to 11.
Okay, we're starting at 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 70 years old.
Right. So 70. A score is 20 years old. A score is 20. So 20, 40, 60. Right. All right. So let not a widow be taken into the number under 70 years old. Today, when can you get Social Security?
65, I think.
Right. Can I get Social Security at 30? You get my point? What are we talking about right now?
I'm still trying to tie it together.
Nah, think Israel. Think government.
Dang, so let not this. I'm still trying to figure out the why. Okay,
go ahead, Kazagwa.
So, if I caught on to it correctly, they're saying at the age of 60, the elder women of Israel can get financial assistance from the leaders
right.
of the tribe.
Right.
Excuse me, they can receive help.
Right.
You're not helping them.
Right. This has nothing to do with sex.
Basically, assistance.
Right. Assist. Because remember, don't think think today how we are, but think before all of this, we had to provide it for ourselves. Right. Remember, the tithes is coming in. Right. The tithes is coming in from the people. The money is available. So now these women who are elders, who are widows, right? Their husband died. These women, they can receive government assistance from the men who are in charge. You get my point?
It's basically Social Security. Wait, I get.
You're good. That's what I say.
Social Security.
Yeah. All right, but we're gonna read into it the criteria of how you would receive the money to be taken care of by the congregation, by the administration, right? Because remember, we read back in Acts 6:1 where they were murmuring against the daily administration, right? The administration, that's administration. They were murmuring against it. They're like, man, these niggas started talking about we Israelites and all this, that, and that. They ain't even taking care of the widows that we got. Who the hell they think they are, right? You want to think black people. Think, hood. Think Philadelphia. All right, let's get it.
Verse 10, well reported of for good works.
Oh, Makwadash, yeah, complaining. Don't count on the woman who was young as a widow to be helped out. Okay, depending on the circumstance. All right, but we're gonna, of course, but we're gonna read into that Makwadash. All right, what's going on, Barack Wana? She ain't had the barbecue sauce this year, but all right, I see her. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 10. Well reported of for good works.
Right, this is the criteria. So this woman, she's not under 80, right? She's not under 60, but this woman, she's well reported of for good works. That does not mean that you could be 60 years old and coming to truth for 2 months, and then we got to start giving you some bread, right? You got to be well reported of good work. It's a criteria that this sister has to meet. Go ahead.
If she had brought up children.
Mm-hmm. Right. If this sister had, if she brought up children in the world, just the same way the oppressor make you can't just get Social Security. You got to have, a certain amount of work hour. What, give me some work hours. What you say? Yeah. How long you been paying into it? It's a different criteria. It's a certain criteria rather that you have to meet. You have to have a certain amount of points. You know what I mean? Meaning like, how long you've been actually contributing into the workforce. I mean, not into the workforce, but into the government with your contribution from the work that you have done. Think big. Don't think like in the hood. Think large scale. Right? You worked at jobs, you worked at construction jobs, you worked in nursing jobs. If you're a sister, you worked doing this and that. You helped America get to where it's at and stay where it's at right now. So they're looking at, okay, is the brother that's at the liquor store, hanging out in front of the liquor store, all day, getting drunk all day, is he gonna have a bigger portion than you? No, because you've been working for 30 years. You've been consistently working for 30 years. You've been paying taxes for 30 years. So it's a criteria of what kind of bread you're going to be paid out when it's time for you to retire. Get my point? It's the same thing when it comes to Israel culture. We have a certain criteria that a woman must meet for her to get taken care of in her old age. All right, keep going.
Well reported of for good works. If she had brought up children, if she have lodged strangers.
Right. So a sister like, y'all can stay here with me. Y'all need rooms? All right, the Passover's coming up. All right, you can stay with me. You ain't gotta stay over here. You get my point? Like these are attributes of a sister that has a good report of brothers, a sister that has been down, sister that lodged brothers, said, look, man, you can stay here at the crib. You ain't gotta waste your money. Go ahead, keep going.
If she had washed the saints, feet.
Right. The sister that she took care of the brothers. Right. Read on.
If she had revived the afflicted.
She had relieved the afflicted.
If she had relieved the afflicted. If she had diligently followed every good work.
Right. So this is the widow, man. You know, this is the criteria of how a woman, you know, is like, man, look, this sister's a good sister. You know what I mean? And she deserves this money. You get my point? She a widow. Her husband is not here anymore, but this sister deserves public assistance. Right? This sister gets public assistance. Right? Keep going.
Verse 11, but the younger widow.
Hold on, say it one more time.
But the younger widow.
Yeah, you young broads. Go ahead.
But the younger widows refuse.
Right, go ahead.
For when they have begun to wax wanton.
Wanton, right? So wanton is like, when you wax wanton, that's more so like, think sexual. Right? You turned on by a young nigga, right? Because remember, this is a woman who's she's below 60. She's below 60, right? Now this woman who's below that, don't give her public assistance. Like, don't give me public, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get retirement. I can't get Social Security right now. I'm young. I still got time to do things. You go ahead.
Okay, for 11 to make it today, it would be me not getting it because I'm still able to be married and taking care of that way.
Right.
So a younger woman is more likely to get married.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's making sense. It's making sense to you now. Yeah, we working it out. All right. Keep going. Start at 11.
But the younger widows refuse. For when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry.
Right. These women will go out and they'll have sex and marry somebody else when they get that urge, right? But when you're above a certain age, then you know the chances of you doing it. Now that's not saying that women that's over 60 can't get their freak on. I'm not saying that, right? You can, but you know the spirit is more likely where you probably won't do it. I'll give you an example. My mother, you know what I'm saying? My mom is 62. My mom is 63. She'll be 63 this year. Her husband died, right? My mother is a widow. My mom ain't trying to get with nobody else. Right. You get my point? More than not, you know, the spirit that's going to be on that sister who's a certain age, it's different. She's not really trying to get remarried. That's that. You know what I mean? She's 60-some years old. She's over 70. She's not really trying. Her husband died. Obviously, we were talking about Israel. So her husband, she's been with since she's become a woman, right? And now her husband is dead, and she's just a sister that's going, you know, take care of brothers, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you good. You know, you come through town, you can stay here at the crib. I'm going to cook for you, you know what I'm saying? If you afflicted, I'm going to ease your pain. I'm going to, you know, braid your hair up. You know what I mean? You ain't got no sister to do your hair. I'm going to braid your hair up. I'm going to make your garment for you. You know, different things like that. The sister going to be like, you know, she's going to help you out. But a young sister, you know, she'll help the niggas out, but she want a nigga. You know what I mean? Like, I help you out. My husband passed away, but I'm 40. You get my point? My husband passed away, but I'm 30. I still got a lot of life in me. Right. So I'll braid your hair, but this ain't it for me. You get my point? This is what this is talking about. All right, go ahead.
Verse 12, having their nation because they have cast off their first faith.
Right, because remember in this time, remember this is Paul teaching Timothy how to set the school up and what to do. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying, okay, when you set it up and you start getting these tithes in, if a woman is below 80, refuse her. Don't give her the bread. You know what I mean? Because her husband passed away. You get my point? Because this sister has the ability to remarry and get, because the minute she wants to remarry, she will. You get my point? Women can have sex whenever they want to have sex. Right. Don't get it tripped. Don't even trip. Don't think it's anything different. When she wants to have sex, a nigga will be there. Right? All right. All right, no sweat. I think we pretty good there. Hold on. Read 11 one more time.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
But the younger widows refuse.
Mm-hmm.
For when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry.
They will what?
They will marry.
They will what?
They will marry.
That's right. When a woman, when she want to get, you know what I mean? She ain't gonna give a damn about nothing what Christ talking about. She ain't gonna give a damn about what you talking about. When she wants somebody to come over there, she's gonna tell them to come over. And that's gonna be your rib. Because we think Israel. Give my point, think Israel. That's what's gonna happen. And you're gonna be bound to that sister for the rest of your life because that's what happened. Right? All right, no sweat. So now we know that when it says don't take a widow into the number, it's actually talking about don't take her into the number of women that's going to get supported by the church, by the congregation in her old age. Right? They'll make you, the way that it's written, it'll make you believe that make you think that it's talking about an old woman can't get a nigga. An old woman, she can get a man. You know what I mean? She's 60 years old. You know, she can braid hair. She can sew. She can get that garment looking glorious. I need a garment like that.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
So like I said, if I may, nowadays they take pride. These semi-older women take pride in being what they call cougars. You know what I mean? Because they got a younger man. You know what I mean? They went and got a younger man.
Right, that's right. The female, hey, the female silver fox. That's right. Hey, look, don't get it twisted. You what, 28? You what, 29? Yeah, don't get it twisted. That's right. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, you think it's a game. You be up there like, yeah, man, she my wife, man. I love her, man. All right. So let's get 2 Maccabees 3 and 10. And I was reading this today, 2 Maccabees 3 and 10, and I saw this right here we were talking about, and I was actually talking to Mataziala before the camera came on about reading 2 Maccabees, and this is what I've seen. You can give it to him. Yeah, you can have it. You can have it.
Yes, that is yours.
Yeah, you can have it. You can have the apocrypha too. We're gonna get more. All right. 2 Maccabees 3 and 10. You got that on the blue letter, Mataziala?
I got it, but it's not on the blue letter, but I do have it.
Okay, no sweat. Okay. All right, so this story that's going on now, all right.
He goes,
What you say?
yes, it's right.
I want a brother that two of whom is my age or a little bit older. Yeah, that's right. Go get him. Don't hurt him, sis. Don't hurt him. Go get him. All right, no sweat. Makwadas, I'm not sure what you meant when he said start wonton a man. Oh, start wonton a man. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, she said start start wonton a man. That's right. Checking in from Alabama. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, you late. Don't count a woman who is young as a widow to be helped. Right, Makwadas, you right. Absolutely. Michael Dosh is right. And all right, cool. Your Quadazar is trying to get it shut down. Yeah, he trying to get that shut all the way down. Right, you want a brother in the truth that's your age or a little bit older. Okay, that's right. And you can get all what you want, right? But are you ready for that? Are you ready for the silver fox? Yeah, these silver foxes, them brothers is lifting weights now. It ain't like you can send your kid up there like, hey, Mr. Charles, my mom said you can put the money through the screen door. Mr. Charles is working out now. Okay, so you there? Okay. Let's read a little bit of context real quick, and I'm gonna end it out here.
Second Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 10.
1.
First Maccabees.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip you around real quick. I'm not gonna go through the whole story. I'm gonna skip you around, leading down to verse 10. All right. So just rock with me, and then we're gonna get down there. We're gonna skip there real quick.
Yeah, 1 and 10 or
no? For the second Maccabees 3 and 1.
3 and 1.
Yeah, we're gonna go down to 10. All right. And this is gonna bring me all the way home, and then that's gonna be it. All right.
Second Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, and the laws were kept very well because of the godliness of Onias, the high priest.
Right. So Onias, the high priest at the time, everybody's, we're still in captivity, but, we're keeping the laws of God, and, we're on the right track. Right. Go ahead.
And his hatred of wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, it came to pass that even the kings of themselves did honor the place.
Right. So, the people that were in charge, they honored the place. They it's the same way it would be if we were here today. Right. They'd be like, damn, niggas ain't killing themselves. They ain't killing each other. These some upstanding people. You know what I mean? Of course, we're still in the captivity, but we're still handling ourselves in a better way. And we're creating a space for the Lord to deliver us from the captivity. Right? Keep reading.
And magnify the temple with their best gifts.
Mm-hmm. So even the heathen is helping out. You get my point? Go ahead.
Verse 3, and so much that
where you at? I'm sorry,
Second Maccabees verse 3 and 3. 3 and 3.
Okay, insomuch as Seleucus.
Insomuch that Seleucus of Asia of his own revenues bear all the costs belonging to the service of the sacrifices.
Right. So this is the king. The Seleucus is like the Seleucid dynasty, right? And they're seeing how we're conducting ourselves and how we're a people that's like the scriptures say. It says these shall be your statutes and your judgments, and this shall be your wisdom in the sight of the nations. So the other nations are seeing this king is seeing like, man, these people are. They cool. They good to go. You know what I'm saying? And he's paying for whatever they got to do. You know what I mean? They sacrifice. We got to sacrifice whatever we got to sacrifice. And we're doing it in the right way. But he's putting the money to it. You get my point? So that we can do what we want to do, right? To serve the Lord. All right. Keep going.
Verse 4. But one Simon of the tribe of Benjamin. But one Simon of the tribe of Benjamin.
Always a bootlicking nigga. Always a bootlicking nigga that got to come up against what we doing when we doing good, right? Keep going.
But one Simon of the tribe of Benjamin, who was made governor of the temple, fell out with the high priest about disorder in the city.
Right. So about disorder in the city. So that's So this is Simon. He's falling out with Onias, right? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And when he could not overcome Onias, he got him to Apollonius, the son of Darius, who then was governor of Celesyria.
Yeah, Celesyria, right, and Phoenicia.
Mm-hmm. Verse 6, and told him that the treasury in Jerusalem was full of infinite sums of money.
How much money?
Was full of infinite sums of money.
Right. So he's trying to come. So Simon is trying to come up against Onias, right? Who's in charge, right? But Simon, he got some power, right? He went to, you know, the governors of Phoenice, you know what I mean, and Salakia. He went up to the governor against Thrace, and Salakia. Let me get it right. Salakia. I don't want to say nothing wrong. And you know, and he got him to Apollonius, the son of Thracia, who then was the governor of Seleucia and Phoenicia. So he went to him and told him that the treasury of Jerusalem was full of infinite sums of money. So he's trying to get at this brother who's in power. Go ahead. There's another Jew trying to get at another Jew. It's always bootlickers that's always in Jerusalem, right? We always see it. We see it on TV. We see it on social media. It's always a bootlicking nigga who always got to try to come up against brothers who are actually doing something, right? Right. Go ahead.
So that the multitude of their riches, which did not pertain to the account of the sacrifices, was innumerable. Meaning that he's telling him, man, we got so much money in the temple. The Jews got so much money. Man, look, the king is paying for the sacrifices, blah, blah, blah. But the money that's coming in, these niggas got some money, right? This is what he's saying to them. Keep going. And that it was possible to bring all into the king's hands.
See that? It's always a bootlicking nigga. There's always gotta be like, man, look, you know what I'm saying? You know, they get money over there. Them niggas get money. They got the bag. But, you know what I mean? But all that money they getting over there, they could give something to the king, though. They can give something to Donald Trump. They can give something to Joe Biden. These niggas over there, they got the bag, right? Keep reading.
Verse 7. And when Olympias came to the king.
He said Olympias. Apollonius.
And when Apollonius came to the king, and he showed him the money whereof he was told, the king chose out Heliodorus. Heliodorus, his treasurer, and sent him with a commandment to bring him the foresaid money.
Right. So nigga telling you that you can get some money, what you gonna go do? Let's go get it. Let's go get that bread. So he sent his treasurer out to go get the money and bring it back home. All right. Because remember, he's the king at the time, right? That's ruling over Israel at the time. Remember, it was times where, you know, when we still could conduct ourselves as Israel, but we were still under rule. You get my point? It's the same thing that happened in Rome, same thing that happened in Greece, right? Same thing that happened now. Same thing that's happening now. Like, we're still able to keep the Passover. We're still able to keep our feast days. Right. We're still able to do those things. But if America says, we need more taxes, what you going to do? We'll pay them. We need more, you know, money coming in. 501c3 is done. Every bit of money that comes in there from somebody, you know, paying tithes or donating any kind of money, we want half. You get my point? So just think now, but think back then. All right, keep going.
So forthwith, Heliodorus took his journey under a color of visiting the cities of Seleucia and Phoenice.
So he's like, you know, he's going on, you know, under the guise of, I'm just going to go check out these places. I ain't, you know, trying to do nothing. I'm just making an appearance just to check on everything and make sure everything is good. Go ahead.
But indeed to fulfill the king's purpose.
Right. That's what he was there for. He was there to make to check on his bread that he was hearing about from Simon. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And when he came and when he was to come to Jerusalem and had been courteously received of the high priest of the city.
Right, which is Salaki Onias.
He told him what intelligence was given of the money, and declared whereof he came, and asked if these things were so indeed. Verse 10, then the high priest told him that there was such money laid up for relief of the widows.
Say that one more time.
Then the high priest told him that there was such money laid up for the relief of the widows.
Say it one more time.
Of the widows.
Of the what?
Of the widows.
See that? That's brought it all together. What we was talking about.
Right.
It was the money that was laid up. It was for the widows. Why would it be for the widows? Because if they were over 70, right, and they were a widow of a husband, right, then they would be able to receive the money. Right. So this money that this brother Simon is talking about, this money is actually for the widows to take care of them, because they're the widow, they're widows, and the money that we take for the fatherless. Keep going. Read it one more time from 10, the beginning of 10.
First, kind of kind. Then the high priest told him that there was such money laid up for the relief of the widows and fatherless children.
See that? Now, I'm not going to go into the rest of it, but I think that's a good place to really just end it. You know what I mean? But that right there showed that what we've been talking about the whole night. Right. The widows, the money that we put up, that we got from the tithes, the tithing, which niggas talk about, tithes is corn. Well, bring that in here too. We can give it to the widows. You think it's black eyed peas? Bring the black eyed peas in. We'll give it to the widows, right? Whatever you think it is, bring it in. We'll give it to the widows and the fatherless, right? That's the way we could deal with it now, right? Bring the bread in. The bread that they had, that's how they would take care of the sisters who were old sisters, the older sisters, right? The sisters that were there for the brothers, the sisters that opened up their homes, the sisters that, sold those garments so that brothers would look glorious for the Passover. Right. Those sisters that braided brothers' hair so they look glorious for their high holy days. The sisters that gave their substance and came and brought some food in here, right? For those sisters, you know what I'm saying? When they got to a certain age and their husband died, now these sisters don't have the support that they used to have. And then that's where the money would go to them. They would get a certain amount of money that would keep them afloat. The fatherless, right? The men who died, like in war. You get my point? We would use the money, the priest would use the money to take care of the wives who husband died in war, getting everybody free. It's the same thing today, the GI Bill. Right? Y'all know about that, right? The GI Bill. When a brother goes over to war and he dies, his wife gets the benefits from the government. Think that, but think Israel. Right. Think government. You know what I mean? I know we've been in slavery a long time, and I know these concepts seems like far-fetched and they seem so out of your ability to fathom them. But we have had these things set up. We've had government set up. We've had, welfare set up. We've had Social Security set up. We've had all of these things set up, just like you see it today. It just got stripped from us through generations and generations of our, identity being taken from us. So now we see the oppressor and we think this is something new. This is something he thought of. But reality is that we've always thought of this and we've always had it in play. All right. So with that being said, man, you know what I mean? Any more questions? Y'all good? All right, we're going to take it out, man. We're going to bring up Officer Mataza Ya'ala to end out the class. Oh, Salaki, I got you right here. He wait. God, sir. Salaki.
There you go. All right, security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from their heads. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in Hebrew. My Asherah, that's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you. Adawan just gave a beautiful class on what we do with them tithes. we help the widows. So pay your tithes, man.
Right.
Pay your tithes, right? Help this nation build. You understand? It's a commandment. All right. Priest fund also. It's free will offerings for the priests. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you like to donate, whatever size bottle you like to donate. It's all welcome in this house. All right. All right. Upcoming Holy Convocations. May the 29th is the Feast of First Fruits. Mm-hmm. And that's before sundown. I believe it says on the chart. The service has to start before sundown on May 29th. That's the next High Holy Day. All right. We just came out of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which was successful.
Last night.
The wilder to everyone.
Wait, was it no Sunday night? Sunday night, yeah.
Concert. The wilder to everyone that participated in that.
We was there.
Was able to hold their discipline. You know what I mean? And they couldn't wait for the hoagies. They got the hoagies. All right, most high credit. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf like these brothers here. With that being said, men of Israel, Amijah, which means to stand.
Oh, man. Okay, I'll fix that.
All right, men of Israel, Amijah Shabbat, Amijah, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat
Yaja Matah. What we said was the Most High God bless you in the name of whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
The Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you.
In the name of Christ, bless you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sar, which means to turn. Sisters, Amijah. We'll get the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amijah Shabbat, Amijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
What we said was, Most High God, watch over you in the name of Yahweh Shai, where we call Jesus Christ. Yaja Matah means hands down. Class dismissed.